Going for boost. Well, I think going for boost, if you're a boost merchant, like someone like AJ or someone, you go for boost.
100% of the time.
Yes.
Always, every second of every game. Ball's going in your net, don't worry about it. Go get the boost and make sure you've got the full 100 to celebrate with the other team.
Oh God. Never. Yeah, never. Always go for ball.
Yeah.
Number one rule of Rocket League.
Welcome to the Boost Over Ball podcast, where three aggressively average Rocket League players talk about everything RLCS with your hosts, Ace, Code Red Jack, Kyle Cube, and AJ Binky. So, if you've ever wondered when the best time to go for Boost Over Ball is, you've come to the right place.
Hello and welcome back to the Boost Over Ball podcast. I'm Kyle K-Cube, and I'm joined with AJ Binky today, and we got a special guest on deck for you. We have Ghost content creator, caster, esports personality, and Gamehers award winner, Hana, Nebbiiee, and we're going to talk to her about her journey through casting and content creation, how she got involved with Ghost. We go in depth on to some of the struggles that a lot of people face along the way, but don't really talk about. This is one of our favorite episodes, so this is one that you won't want to miss. So without further ado, we will jump right into our interview.
Hi everyone, my name is Hana Darley, or Nebbiiee. I'm a Rocket League creator, content creator, and caster.
Oh yeah, thank you for agreeing to come on the show with us.
I am so excited to be here. I put "Be on a Podcast" on my 2024 bingo card, so checking that off pretty early, so really excited.
Love that.
Nice, congrats.
Thanks guys, thanks. You made it all possible. What can I say?
You didn't make it difficult, so happy about that. But for people who we'll start out with this, right? So we recently talked with DJ, and he mentioned he shouted you out on his episode.
So sweet.
And he mentioned that you are also a part of the Ghost Gaming family. How do you kind of fit into that, and how has your experience with Ghost been?
So I absolutely adore Ghost. I actually reached out to them yesterday. They take care of me so well. But I'll start off with how I got affiliated with them and then move on to them being the best. I'm a little bit biased in that regard. But I actually started out with Ghost last year as a college ambassador. I initially saw the first wave of ambassadors come out, a bunch of influential students in the Georgia esports realm, and I thought, why did I not get text about this? What's going on? Because I really wanted to be involved. So I ended up contacting the person who ran the program, basically begged him to get on a phone call, got a phone call, and it went fantastic. He said it would be a great fit and they'd love to have me. So I ended up joining the program from there. And so the Ghost Gaming Ambassador Program with colleges is basically to connect collegiate esports students all across Georgia and give them some sort of legitimacy, I guess, behind their mission and have that backing from an org. And also just get connected with other esports students in Georgia that they may not have met ordinarily. So each ambassador gets a project that they work on, and Ghost tries to help them out with that in any way that they can. And it's honestly just been such a good time. I've gotten to meet so many good people. But from there, Ghost was signing a wave of creators, and I've been content creating for 6 years now, I think. I don't know. I'm old. Wow. But it's been about 6 years. And so I reached out to our talent manager, for lack of better terminology. And he got me on a phone call, and he decided it would be a great fit. And I was super, super excited. So now officially a content creator for them. Yay. But it's really such a family. I feel like a lot of people say that about their org because they have to. But genuinely, thus it is. I was recently at the Gamehers Awards, and I could see our CEO, when I was going up to receive my award, stand up with his phone, just like record, and was smiling there like a little proud dad. It just really and truly is a group of people who are cheering for you and rooting for you so hard. I actually DM'd somebody last night and was like, hey, I'm going to be out of the country this summer. Is there any way I can get some help with a portable setup? And it was no questions asked. Like, of course, let us know what we can do. And I've never really been with an org like that. So it has been such an eye-opening experience, and I guess, and it's definitely changed the way I do my content.
That is so cool.
It's got to be awesome to have an org that backs you like that, and that like truly helps and believes in their talent or their creators.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, and especially because I am a smaller creator, I'm not world's biggest Twitch streamer or anything by that means, but they believed in my attitude, believed in my just passion for what I get to do and what I do across Georgia, as well as just in the esports world as a whole. And they just saw that and told me they wanted to help foster that in any way that they can, and they've delivered on that tenfold. So I'm very pleasantly surprised because I was nervous. I didn't really know what I was getting into. Because streaming for me has always been kind of a hobby, but now in college, it has become more of something that I want to push towards as a career, whether that be working in esports or casting or full time content creating, just something in the realm of that. And they have definitely given me a much better view and really helped my job prospects in the future. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Ghost Gaming.
That's awesome. You did mention it, and I had like a list of questions that I was going to talk about or things that I wanted to bring up. But since you brought it up, I have to pivot to it now. Let's talk about the Gamer Awards.
Coolest event ever, first of all. Genuinely, was such an honor. Did not expect to be nominated for anything. I was gonna go because it's in Atlanta, at Skillshot, which is partnered with Ghost. Todd is the CEO of both companies. Love Todd Harris. Shout out Todd Harris. If he ever watches this, I love Todd Harris. But so I was just gonna go and watch anyway, but I ended up getting nominated. And I basically begged every single person I knew to vote for me, which worked out in my favor. I ended up winning, and it was terrifying for like, terrifying, exciting, and I cried a little bit throughout the whole thing. The problem is, me and my boyfriend Noah could see the teleprompter from where we were sitting. So as they were about to announce the intern scholar of the year, he like covered my eyes, was like, "You're not allowed to look. Like, don't look, don't look." And then they called my name, and I freaked out. And somehow I got sat at a table not with all of my friends. So Elise and Manda are at the table at the front. You can see me in the video. It's awful. I like, in sports games when athletes run through their teammates, it's basically what I did, and it was actually so awful watching it back. I like ran to their table, and then we all jumped up and down, and then I ran onto stage. I got back off the stage, and Noah was like, "Why were you running?" It's like, I don't know, because the stage was not far away from my table. Like, I don't know why I ran. But it was genuinely such a cool experience. I met so many amazing women, and it was a real honor. I genuinely did not expect that, as much as I was hoping for it. Really did not expect to win. It was amazing. It was so amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard only good things. Yeah, we've talked a little bit before, and I introduced you to my former program director Danielle, who was part of the team that won with Esports and Coffee for their platform, and she was nominated for one of the coaches of the year. So I'm very familiar with how it works, and I'm so happy to see that it's growing the way that it has. And congratulations again on your award. You got to be super excited about it.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. It's sitting on my dresser right now. I dropped Danielle votes. I love Danielle. We've connected a lot recently, and she's been so fantastic in helping me with some casting stuff as well. So thank you for that connection. That was awesome.
Of course, she's good. She's good people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she gave me my first coaching job when I was starting, and so she's happy to bring along talent, and she's a good person to know.
Absolutely.
But okay, so we did the Game Hers, we did Ghost a little bit. How did you said you've been content creating for quite a while. How did you come into content creation, and how is it like morphed over time? Like, have you always played the same games, or have you kind of jumped around a little bit?
This is always such a silly story for me. So in 8th grade, I was in love with this boy, and he played Rocket League. So, as any normal, super normal 8th grade girl would do, I go home and I beg my dad. I'm like, please buy me Rocket League. All my friends play. I just really want to play. Please, please, please. And my dad was like, okay. So he bought me Rocket League. My only intention being to be better than this guy, so I would be impressive and cool.
That's
6
how that
years
works.
later.
Yep, that's how
6
that
years
works.
later, I'm still not the rank he was in 8th grade. So I'll work on that one day. but
you definitely have the coolness factor over him. I mean, you won an award.
Hashtag swag. What can I
being
say?
competitive.
What can I say? So I start playing Rocket League. I'm terrible. I'm like bronze, silver, maybe if I'm lucky. On the Rocket League on the Rocket League homepage, they have the esports tab. And so my controller has always been buggy, stick shift nonsense. So I'm trying to tab down to play, and it's making me so mad because it won't. I think it does. Then I click on esports, and I'm like, what is this? Never seen Twitch before, did not know what it was. I ended up sitting on my couch for probably 4 hours that day, just watching professional esports, just watching RLCS on my couch, just amazed because, I thought all of my friends were so good. They were diamond maybe at the time, you know what I mean? I was like, oh my gosh, my friends are so good at this game. Who are these people? Because they're doing things I've never even seen before. Like, what is going on? And, I've always been big into sports. I've played a lot of basketball as a kid, played soccer for several years. So it was like, video game sports, what is happening? And they used to have like the live tweets at the bottom they'd put up.
Yep.
So in all my wisdom, I decide I need to make a Twitter and start tweeting. From there, I yapped enough to garner a little bit of attention. And somebody told me they thought I was funny and I should stream. And honestly, the rest is kind of history. I started with Rocket League. I've stuck with Rocket League for years. I started streaming off my Xbox. Had a Far Cry Primal phase for a little bit. If you go back in my Twitch, you can find my really awful Far Cry Primal clips of me screaming and being 14. It was awful. But I had a little Far Cry phase, have had my really long Rocket League phase, still in it, still love it. When Valorant came out, I was really into that. Streamed League for a little bit, but none of my viewers know what's happening, so it's not really fun for them, which I get that. League is not super fun to watch if you don't actively enjoy the game. Had my Minecraft phase in 2020, as
Most people
did.
did, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a rough time. We don't speak on that.
Hey, Minecraft is still a great game, though.
Dude, I love Minecraft, but the
Heck yeah.
Minecraft streamer mold
yeah.
was definitely an interesting time. So we're gonna
Yeah, for sure.
Overwatch, very brief Overwatch. I'm terrible at Overwatch, but I do enjoy it. Just all the main big games I've probably touched once or twice on stream, but I continually come back to Rocket League. I just started Fortnite Fridays, so enjoy a little bit of a variety, but I'm awful at that too.
I feel like Rocket League is like RuneScape, where like you take breaks, you never actually quit.
Yes, old school RuneScape, dude. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's where it's at. Also, that's a super unique story with how you got started.
It's so stupid. I always
I
feel
love
so dumb when I'm telling it because it's like, so you just like the guy? Like, well, yeah, but it turned into a really big passion of mine and something I love very much. And I've met so many cool people. And I actually talked to him somewhat recently. Actually, no, somewhat recently. It was like a year ago. When I got signed to Ghost, I sent him a message on Discord and was like, hey, I don't think I ever told you this, but the only reason I started doing this stuff is because I had a crush in 8th grade. And I will say we dated for 2 months in 8th grade, so I did accomplish my goal. Thank you very much. Masterminded that one. It worked. We did break up, as all 8th graders do. We're still friends. He still goes to college in Georgia. But I sent him a message, was like, hey, you're the only reason all this stuff happened. He was like, what? That's crazy. We had a whole conversation about it. It was really silly.
It's so funny. So what rank was he?
Oh, God. What rank was he? I think he was GC. The thing is, this was mean. He was in a Squishy video at one point, in a 1v1 video, and Squishy beat him. And he was complaining about it, so we all printed out photos of Squishy and saved them to his locker.
No!
That's so funny.
Guys, it was funny, I swear. It sounds like bullying, but he was one of our friends. We were not bullying him. We all just thought it was really funny.
It's just extra motivation.
Exactly.
That was so mean. And now that I'm thinking about that, because he was like upset about it, dude. He's like, I'm on YouTube and I lost, man. That sucks. Dang.
He got highlighted.
Dude, that's so funny.
Literally getting clicked on.
Yeah, that was bad. That was rough.
We know some people that happened to.
Do we?
Yeah, Shane was in a Sunless video.
Oh, true. I was in a Sunless video one time, but like, it was one of those guess the rank ones. It was back when I was plat, so.
Nice.
So needless to say,
I feel your pain.
I will not be sharing that video.
I've gotten clipped on in a few too many NRG videos recently. Actually,
Nice.
it's really rough. Musty. Oh God, I was in one with Musty and Mizu. I think this was just a Musty video, but they were trying to guess our rank, and Mizu was playing me down so hard. He was like, "Gold, gold." I will say he guessed me wrong, so he had to wear that cow suit in LA. So you're welcome, Mizu.
Good.
God, that was so rude.
That's
Musty
so
gave me
funny.
diamond, so I'll take it. Thank you.
Big wins.
Nice.
I hover in and out of diamond.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think that it's cool that you have a different origin story. And even if it was just to impress one person, like, it sets you down the path and you did the rest on your own.
Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. I did never imagine this would turn into what it's turned into. You know, it was a hobby at 14, and then it turned into pause, I'm making a little bit of money. Pause, I'm really enjoying this. And then it was like, where else can I go? What else can I do? And you know, I still have a lot to work on. College, it makes it really hard, but I am managing my time the best I can. You know, my days are pretty much blocked to the hour, so feel a little bit insane, but getting it all done. So I'll take it. But it really has morphed into such a passion. You know, Rocket League, I think the reason I can't stray away from the game, it's not the game itself, it's the community. Like, I've genuinely met so many amazing people through this. I don't know if you guys know this. A few years ago, my dog got hit by a car. I will preface this story by saying she's fine. She's not dead. I always have to say that when I tell the story because people are like, oh my god, she's fine. But her leg like got absolutely cut off by this car, and we went and got her emergency surgery. They like reattached her leg. They had to put a plate in her car. It was just a plate in her car. Hello, a plate in her arm. Sorry. And it was just really stressful. It was crazy. I ended up posting a GoFundMe for her. Um, and it raised like $5,000. Like the Rocket League community in that moment banded together and literally saved my childhood dog's life. Like I got her in 4th grade and I still have her now in college and I love her to death. She's my best friend. But it's like moments like that that I realize what a positive impact esports and this space can be if you use your platform properly and if you're a nice person and if you make an effort to get to know people and just how willing people are to help you when you're in situations like that. So it's really cool and I can't help but think about that every time I look at Luna. She's my little bestie. I love her so much. But every single time I look at her, I'm like, wow, you are only here because of Twitter right now. Because her surgeries, it was probably 8 months of like surgery here, then it got affected, then more meds, then she had to be boarded because she had MRSA, and it was just 8 months of nonsense. And now she's completely fine and tears across the yard and has never slept a day in her life. And she's like 12, I think.
You posted that on Twitter, didn't you? That GoFundMe?
Yeah, I did.
I'm fairly confident that I contributed to that.
Let's go!
Nice. That's so cool.
Thank you. You saved my puppy's life.
Probably like a dollar or two or so, you know, whatever I had then. But
That's awesome.
Dude, every dollar counted for that because that was my parents at one point were like, okay, Hana, we're gonna have to put her down. We are not because at that they had spent like $3,000 on the dog.
right.
And they like, you know what I mean? Like average American family does not have $10,000 to spend on a dog. But it was important to me. I was like, this is my dog. You're not putting her down. You crazy.
Yep.
And she is still perfectly fine now. Our neighbors have a tractor and it is Luna's sworn enemy. We literally cannot let her outside because she will not stop barking and she will run herself into laying in the heat and like passing out because she just flips out at it. So her leg is completely normal and she just still. We have another dog too. His name's Wilco, and they just play together all day and sprint around, and she's doing great. So it genuinely changed my life to have that sort of support from Twitter. So thank you, Kyle.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, there's definitely people that contributed way more than I did. So, but it kind of full circle, which is kind of funny to see.
Some
Yeah,
random
I feel like
person I have. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Nope.
Well,
you.
some random person I've never talked to, a cosplayer. We were not mutuals. We had no mutuals. She sent me a DM and was like, "Hey, my dog had MRSA. Like my dog got MRSA, and someone sent me $500, and I was able to save her life. Pay this forward in the future." And she sent me like $600. She sent me more than 500. It was crazy. I was like, I don't know who you are. We have never talked a day in our lives. What the hell? Like, can I curse? Oh,
Yeah, you can
pause.
curse.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Jump scare. Like it was. I just remember sitting there like watching the GoFundMe keep getting likes, and I was just like sobbing in my room. It was genuinely crazy. And then some other lady DM'd me actually about a year ago because she found my GoFundMe post. It was like, "Hey, my dog had something similar happen right now. Like, I'm freaking out. What happened with your dog?" And I was like, "Girl, she is completely fine. Your dog will be okay." And she actually messaged me back a few months later. I was like, "My dog is doing great. Thank you." It's like, oh, good. I sent her what I could because, you know, broke college student cannot send people $500.
I get it. I've been there.
Yep.
Ooh, I'm living it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you continue to stay good at transitioning yourself. My next question was actually going to be, so like you the award that you won would be for Intern and Scholar of the Year, correct?
Yes.
So it's very apparent to a lot of people that you're able to balance streaming your ambassadorship and your ghost gaming stuff with, also casting, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, and school. How are you able to balance that so well, and what advice would you give to anybody who is trying to do something similar?
If I can be transparent, I don't balance it as well as it looks like I do. Like anyone, I am not perfect. While my days are scheduled to the hour, today I was feeling super sick and did not go to a single class. And instead of doing all of the things I should have, I laid in bed, watched Superstore, and played Teamfight Tactics. So there's definitely a balance there of doing absolutely nothing and trying to do it all. That's something I'm working through. I am young and don't really know what I'm doing, but trying to work through it. Something that's helped me a lot is time blocking. My days are literally scheduled to the hour, which is a little bit stressful, but they're not necessarily hard deadlines for me because a lot of the scheduling, quote unquote, is like homework, study, cook dinner, just so I know the approximate times of, okay, I need to end this task and start this task. I need to end this and start this. Having my scheduled streams has been really helpful for that. If you know me, I used to not schedule a single stream. My schedule panel said, LOL, no, like, would not do it at all. But honestly, since doing that, my life has improved so much because I know, okay, I have to at least do these things by this time. And it's made me stream more consistently because I'm treating it more like a job where I have to clock in. Like that is my one hard deadline of the day besides my classes. Something that also helped me is I stack my classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I do not go on campus Wednesday, Friday. I have to go for like an hour on Mondays. Just getting it all done and out of the way. And honestly, it's just self-control. I have terrible self-control, but it's something I'm actively working on. It's just being able to say, okay, if you're going to eat, you're going to watch one episode of Hulu and then you're going to get up. And just like forcing myself to get up that sounds so dumb, but actually making yourself do the thing that you're telling yourself to do is so hard sometimes. Like that is actually so hard sometimes, but that's how I manage it. It is rough. I don't dedicate as much time to some things as I should, but there's only 24 hours in a day and I need to sleep at some point. So it's really just, there's no method to the madness. You just have to try and apply yourself. And different things work for different people. What works for me in my time blocking may not work for someone else, but that's how I've gotten through it. And that would honestly be my advice is time blocking, because that, I know I just said it wouldn't work for everyone, but did wonders for me. Also, going on the r/productivity Reddit page actually also changed my life. So reading through what everyone else is saying and how they've dealt with their issues and not being able to fit everything in their day has really helped me a lot, just to get different viewpoints and understand other strategies that people use.
That's awesome.
That's fascinating that Reddit helped you so much.
God, I love Reddit.
Also, I feel like I can't speak for everybody here, but I very much appreciate the transparency there. Where it's like, yeah, it's not as great as it might seem.
Oh no, not at all. Okay, on Thursday, this weekend was my birthday weekend, right? So, and it's also St. Patty's.
Happy
So,
birthday.
thank you. Crazy weekend for the college students. But Thursday, I genuinely had an hour and a half of sleep. Like I couldn't sleep. I was staying up stressing. I had so much to do. So I just pulled an all-nighter, napped for an hour, went to classes 9 to 4, had dinner with family at 6, and then went out with friends. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it is so miserable to do all of the things you have to do. Like it is. It is miserable, and I will be the first to say I don't always do it, because being a real person on social media is so much more important to me than maintaining a persona of I'm perfect and awesome and I'm a model college student and I get all A's and I go to the gym and I stream and I commentate, because that's not true. Like, I'm retaking a class this semester and that's normal and that's fine. I used to be such a perfectionist, but the moment I allowed myself to be a little bit normal and be a little more laid back was the moment I started enjoying my life so much more. Like, nothing is as serious as it seems. I always have to remind myself, like, when I'm having a stressful moment, I take 10 seconds and then I cry about it for maybe 10 seconds. Then I'm like, okay, is it actually that deep? And it usually never is. It usually never
Good for
is.
you.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I mean, I had to retake some classes. I've been very open with the college kids that I coach. I was academically dropped from my university at one point and had to transfer back. And
yeah,
it's not
Me too.
not everybody's path is a straight line. And so I like talking to people who, you know, have kind of come to that same realization. Because, like, I'm on my second job now after college, right? And I haven't been asked about my GPA since I applied for an internship while I was still in school.
Literally.
It really
I don't
does
think-
not matter.
They do
I
not
don't think
care.
any employer has asked me about school ever, except for an internship.
Yeah, like when
which
I'm still
makes
in
sense.
school, right? Because that's like the
Right.
only thing that I have to go off of because I have no experience.
Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as long as you walk out with a piece of paper, it's all good.
Hey,
I've
I
actually
didn't even do that.
Exactly. You don't even always have to. Like, you really don't even always have to.
C's get
Um,
degrees.
My
Well,
scholarship does not
so
allow
do
for
B's
C,
and F's.
unfortunately.
Mm.
I,
And-
I think
In
I
my case,
also
at least.
I also do like prioritize school a lot because I am on a full ride here. And it is my parents are not going to pay for my college if I lose it. Like they might. I don't know. My parents are always like, we won't. And I don't want to test that. Like, I'm not finna test that. Absolutely not. You're not gonna catch me testing that.
Right.
So that added pressure. I have things to lose, which helps me in my productivity.
It keeps you
Because
motivated. I
do
got
not
you.
want to lose those things. Yeah, exactly. And while that motivation may not always be internal, it's just real life stuff. Like, I'm not going to go 200K in debt to go to my university. I love my university. I love UGA so much. I did not want to go here. This was my last choice. So happy I did. Like, genuinely, world's best people, best campus, just greatest. I just love everything about it. It's such a blessing to go here for me. It literally changed my life. But
Weird how that works.
no, right? Like, things always work out. It's never that serious. In college admission season, I thought it was that serious. Turns out, it's not. It's
Yeah.
really not. Yeah. And I
But-
think a lot of it also comes with. I'm sorry, I did not mean to
No,
cut you off.
go for it.
I think a lot of it also comes down to your mindset about things. I'm a very positive person. Because number one, I have no reason not to be. Like, when I look at my life and the things I get to do, like throughout college, I get to pay my rent and my bills by playing video games on the internet. Like, that alone is just, I'm lucky to have that in my life, right? I have great friends. I have a great boyfriend. I love my sorority. I love my job. I love where I live. I love my roommates. Like, there are so many things and even small things in my life. Like, on my morning walk, the local college coffee shop is right there. I can just go and grab a little cup of a chai or something. Like, there's so many small things in my life that are so positive that it's like, it is hard for me to be so stressed about things because there's so many other good things that outweigh the 165 on a test or some nonsense that doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, two things.
That's pretty
First,
big.
what sorority are you in?
Oh, I'm in Gamma Phi. Hi, G5B. I love my girls. So much fun. I'm also in a music sorority. I'm in Tau Beta Sigma. Love that. We actually just had our first line of MCs cross. Oh, nope, I lied. Cut that out. That didn't happen.
Okay.
We had our first MC
Note to
recital.
the editor.
We had our first MC recital. We're taking our very first class in the upcoming weeks because we actually just got established at our university, which is really exciting. So, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so excited. It's been
Also,
really awesome.
my fraternity was right across from G5B at school. So
Oh, what frat were you in?
Alpha Sigma Phi.
Ooh, I don't think we have them on our campus.
I am not sure about that either.
I'm looking. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I do not. Oh, they're coming to our campus soon. Huh.
Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, I don't know. And local founding currently expanding. They are currently expanding in the University of Georgia. Nice.
Makes sense. I was a founding member at my school.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah,
Nice.
but I had to go down that tangent. You said
No,
that. And I
you're
was like,
good.
wait a second.
Go Greek life, yay!
Oh yeah.
I did not think it would be for me. Genuinely, especially at a SEC school, I was like, this is too serious. I have pink hair. This is not for me.
Hey, you
Turns
gotta-
out it was for me.
Yeah, paying for friends. Who would have thought?
Right, yeah, right. But it ended up being awesome. So my best friends are my sorority sisters. I love them and I see them weekly. They're fantastic. The only reason I did not live in the house was because of streaming. Because I know if I was in a single room with 4 people and one of them was streaming all the time, I would kill them.
Oh, 100%.
Like, our
I get
friendship
it.
would be over.
I get
like,
it.
Yep.
My freshman year roommate thankfully did not care. She actually thought it was super cool and she came to my streams a lot. Love Clara. Thanks, Clara. She was dope.
Shout out.
Shout out Clara.
But so first off, before I transition into kind of the last topic that we're going to talk about, thank you for being transparent with the schooling stuff. I know it's not always easy, but I feel like people need to know that it's not always as straightforward as people make it out to be. Like, you're allowed to have setbacks, you're allowed to have speed bumps, you're allowed to not know what's happening or what you're doing, and it is okay to stress out about things, but just know it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
people hide that shit, and nobody's alone.
That's
As
what
much
Which is
as
so weird. Like, that
like-
is so strange to me. Like,
Yeah.
everyone could just be human and be a little weird, and we would all be happier if you would just be yourself and be normal and talk about, hey, this thing is stressing me out. Hey, this and this. Like, I was not okay. So I'm a computer science major. I did not come into into UGA's comp sci major. I actually did finance for a year. I got my first bad grade I've ever gotten in my freaking life. Got 2 straight C's in econ. I was like, all right, gotta get out of this. So wasted a year basically. Ended up switching into CS, and I love it. I'm terrible at it. Really not that great. I can code. Can't take the test though.
What's your favorite language?
I have only learned Java because I am in
Okay.
the second intro class, which is also the weed out
Gotcha.
class. And my professor is a 1.4 on rate, my professor. So I'm having a great time.
Ooh, that's not fun.
Having a super fun time. Well, okay. Small rant. I do great in all of the projects, in all of the quizzes, and all the homeworks because I know how to code. It takes me a minute to code though, and his tests are like 50-minute time tests. I swear I went to 6 office hours, studied every single day for 30 minutes because I'm not retaking this class again. Are you kidding me? Hello? No. 38. I think if I just sat there and guessed through the test, I actually would have done better.
Oh no.
Dude, it was and then this is the icing on the cake. I go and ask him, like, hey, you know I'm retaking this class. I'm trying really hard. You can see all my project grades are good. All my homework is great. Like, I've really been putting in the effort. I've been at your office hours. I'm bad at these tests. What can I do? And he looks at me and he goes, have you tried studying a little more?
Oh my god. How did you not just like punch him in the face?
Why does he still have eyes?
Dude,
Seriously.
so angry. And I kept it straight because I could see my TA in the background start laughing, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Me and my TA are like friends. I think. Well, we're friends in my parasocial relationship. There, I'm pretty sure we're best friends. He doesn't know that though, but we're besties. And I saw him start laughing. And I was like,
You're
"Oh
trauma
my God."
bonded.
No, I think we are. I actually think we are. I asked him about a different class the other day. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I was like, "Oh, great, thanks, Milo. It's really helpful."
Shout
I don't
out
think
Milo.
he knows my name. I don't think he knows my name. Like, okay, can I show you guys a story? This is really creepy and weird.
Most definitely.
There was a sticker on his laptop. We talked about music before because so the only girl in my sorority that is also a computer science major is in this class with me. Love her. We were yapping about music, and he chimed in because we sit at the front to pay attention, which is awesome. Go me, studious. And he says something about his music taste, and we're like, oh, Kendrick Lamar, whatever. And there's a sticker on his laptop that says the Baum and Family Band, and I'm like, oh well, the music we talked about sounded good. And let me Google these people. I Google it. It's his family's home band, and I accidentally found videos from like 2014 from when all of them were children, like singing and playing on Facebook. Oh my god. And I accidentally liked one of the posts because I was stalking. Because I was like, I thought it was a real musical artist, dude. It's like his family's Facebook page.
Hey, at least he knows who.
So
at least he knows that you can end him.
I unliked it so fast. Like, I was in class. I was like, Nicole, I did something bad.
So funny.
It was awful. So maybe he knows my name because I accidentally liked his mom's Facebook page from 2015.
Well, if
yeah,
he likes an old picture from you, then aren't you in? Isn't that how that works?
I have a long-term boyfriend. I'm good. I do not want him.
Well,
Oh
you
god,
can
it was
still
so awkward.
you can still have friends though.
Oh well, yeah. Duh. Well, I don't know. We're friends in my brain. Like, I'm telling you, we have a parasocial relationship.
Yeah,
We're literally besties.
You're
but-
trauma bonded. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because of my professor.
Exactly.
Gosh, he's my biggest op. My professor, I swear. I can name like 2
Dude.
people I dislike. Maybe just one, and it's him. Gosh,
I
it
feel
stresses
the
me out
pain.
So bad.
Him,
He
some
gave me a
random
0
dude,
last
and
year on a
DJ.
project. Oh god. Yeah, I actually hate DJTJ. That guy is so weird. Keep that in. Put that in.
Maybe the title of the episode now is DJ is just so weird.
The title is Beef at UGA Esports. Officers hate president. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
It's not clickbait if we said it in the episode.
You're literally so right.
I know a computer science tutor. If you're interested, it's me.
Oh.
If you're ever needing help,
Thank you. I
Yeah.
might take you up on that. It's really his tests are
anytime.
the ones where there's like a correct answer, two kind of right answers, like incomplete answers, but also part of them are right. It's just his tests are just hard. And I will say
Do you
the
ever
average
have
was a
to write code?
65. Yeah,
Do you
I
ever
always
have to
get
write code
I get,
in pencil paper for exams?
get full points on that part. The multiple choice I don't get full points on. And it's
Oh,
like a
interesting.
lockdown. It's an HTML web box online. It's a
Ugh.
lockdown browser. Um,
Gross.
so I can't even test the code. You just kind of have to write something in a box and hope it's correct. Which I usually get full points on the code writing part. The multiple choice just takes me out. The average was a 65, so I am not that mad about my 38. Like I'm mad,
That's
but
fair. Yeah. The
that
curve
and then
helps.
90. Oh, there's no curve.
Ugh.
So yeah,
Never mind then.
I have a lot of
Actually, I
fun.
can't remember if there was a curve in the computer classes for me or not.
There's a curve in my theory class, which is awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah, there was in ours too.
I hope that guy only plays
I needed it
Smurfs.
too.
Oh, he tests me. He
I hope
truly
he
does.
steps on Legos.
The problem is
Yeah,
he's a really
all of the
nice
Legos.
guy. He's like really
Yeah.
nice. He's just the worst professor ever.
Yeah.
He just got
that's
hired
fine.
like 2 years ago. So he's brand new. But he's really nice. He just doesn't know what he's talking about ever.
Dude,
He
the
like,
worst
we go to class.
professors are the ones that like only care about the research and then just don't give a shit
That's-
about actually teaching.
That's
It's
him,
so
I think.
bad. Yeah.
Well, we
I could
get
see
there
that.
and he just plugs in his laptop and starts coding. Like it's basically a self-taught class because they have GitHub links with like everything you need to
That
learn and know and
sucks.
exercises. And then he starts coding the examples and he's like, "Okay, did you guys get that?" And then when you ask him a question, he basically restates the question to you, but in statement form, and then that's your answer. And then everyone
Yes,
just
he's
sits
not
there.
a teacher.
Yeah,
at
but
all.
he's really nice.
Sure, but he shouldn't be teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. that
My
sucks.
advisor told me people have retaken this class 4 times, so
Ooh.
it makes me
Yeah,
feel
let me
really
know
good
if you
about
ever
my
need help.
chances. Thank you, I appreciate that.
But yeah, I just no thanks. I've
Yeah.
been there, done that. No thanks.
Yeah.
Like we said, hope his teaching style. He only comes up against Smurf, steps on all the Legos, all that fun stuff.
All of the things. The pillow is hot. Like all of the things.
Oh my God.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the last thing I have on here to talk about and to ask you about is casting. It seems to be more of a recent endeavor for you. How did you get started into that? Have you enjoyed your journey so far? And what are your future goals for casting?
So I actually unwillingly got into casting. The CEO of Ghost, Todd Harris, love you, Todd, DMs me and says, "Hey, have you ever cast before?" I tell him no, because I have quite literally never done it. Like I have been on a stream and jokingly dropped a one-liner or something, never actually cast it. I tell him no, and he says, "Well, we're hosting Girl Gamer in December. Do you want to be a caster?" I tell him no. It's like, no, I don't know what I'm doing because it's like 2 weeks away. And he was like, "Well, we want to try to. I think you could be good at it. You have a great speaking voice. You're well spoken. This could be something you go for." The great speaking voice is not super evident right now as I've lost my voice, but trust me, guys, I promise. So Todd just basically begs me to do it, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'll learn. I'll give it a shot. When is the event? He tells me 2 weeks, and I'm like, gonna start crying. So I DM so many casters. Spaceman sent me like a 7-minute voice note. Elise helped me out a lot through it. Like I was just shooting off DMs left and right, getting in meetings. I tried to send a Google form out to all the teams that were going to be at Girl Gamers, so I got information about them, learned about them, could add some sort of color because my game knowledge is not world's strongest thing. As a platinum player, diamond. I'll give myself a little more credit as a newly diamond player. And then I found out my co-host is Vodable, which was the greatest news ever. I love VOD. I messaged him like, "Hey, VOD, let me be honest with you, never casted before." He's like, "Don't worry, we'll figure this out." So we had super long calls going over our notes. He told me about some more things to say, and it was so much fun. It was the coolest thing I've ever done. I had a blast. And at first I was so nervous, did not want to be there, like was stressing, imposter syndrome, should not have gotten the job, like my first gig was a LAN. That was scary. But it was awesome. It was so cool. And after I got done doing it, I remember looking at VOD and going, "I'm gonna do this again." And he high-fived me and was like, "You should." I was like, "Okay." And from there, it just continued. I only have 3 gigs so far because I started mid-December. So I did Girl Gamer, and then I did a UGA online charity event for War Child, which was super fun. We raised a lot of money, which was awesome. And then I did Bluegrass Boost Battle in Kentucky. That was such a blast, meeting so many amazing people. Unfortunately, I tweeted about this. Got food poisoning, had an unfortunate incident mid-cast, had to run in and out to throw up a few times. Ended up cutting my day a little early on Championship Sunday. And I was going to have a semi-final. I was so excited, but it just obviously was not going to work out for me. But I love it. Truly, I think it's something that I was meant to do. I am still learning. I will never claim to be world's greatest caster, but I will tell you I'm a really hard worker. And it's something I really, really enjoy. So I'm looking forward to doing more of it in the future. Have some more things coming up. I'll land hopefully a few leagues I've been in contact with, which has been really awesome. So there's people giving me opportunities that I may or may not be qualified for right now, but I do appreciate them taking a chance on me. And I am just super, super excited. I have these weekly casting coaching calls basically with somebody from the Old Farts Gaming. He's been fantastic. Has helped me out a lot just in the way I speak and my vocabulary and analysis. I've been sitting down with some RLCS coaches and having them talk me through like why they do what they do, why high level players make the decisions they do, because I don't get that experience in my games. I'm plat. So I never get to see that decision making. So just really getting to hear the insight information on that and sit in on scrims has been really, really helpful. So it is definitely a ongoing process, but something I've really been loving.
That's
So
awesome.
you practice like casting in scrims?
Not necessarily. So what scrims have been for me is I just kind of lurk in like a not
Okay,
weird
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I just kind of sit in the VC and listen to what their coach says to them, why.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll ask the players like, okay, why did you go for that there? Like, why didn't you do this and that? Because to them it's second nature. They understand that decision making in their brain. But I mean, I'm plat. Like, I can hit the ball 4 out of 10 times. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why they would pre-jump there or challenge there, or why they did this with the amount of space they have, or how important the use of space is on the field and boost management and just things like that I would not understand. So that has been really helpful. I mean, just sitting there quietly listening to what the coaches are saying, it's been really awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So yeah.
I mean, I'm so happy to hear that you've found something else to stay involved in the community that you really enjoy. I've certainly seen like on Twitter and stuff the people that you were tweeting about joining scrims and stuff. So I'm glad to see that the grind is paying off and that you're enjoying yourself.
Oh, the response was overwhelming. I had those 2 weeks. I was absolutely booked to the hour. It was a rough 2 weeks, but I genuinely did learn a lot. I actually got some one-on-one coaching sessions with coaches where they ran me through replays, drew out a bunch of stuff on maps. We talked about just a lot of important things in Rocket League and high-level gameplay, and it's been awesome to have that help coming from the community. I'm a person who does not accept help very often. I'm a very independent person, like firstborn daughter, my dad's a Marine. Like, I'm not the person who asks for help. But I realized that I needed to set that ego aside to benefit my learning. Like, in my brain, especially as a kid and growing up, it was like, I always thought it was embarrassing to be bad at something. So I never wanted to be perceived as being bad at something. But if you're not bad at something first, you will never be good. And I had to be okay with my lack of knowledge. I do accept that I do not know as much as everyone else. I am the least experienced here, and that I should instead take that as a learning opportunity and not an opportunity to go try and teach myself when there are people who are readily available, who have that knowledge and would love to help. Like, I would be an idiot to not take advantage of that opportunity. You know what I mean? So I've really just tried to dive into it and just learn as much as I can, because I love learning. I would stay in college forever if I could. Just get 80 billion degrees because I just love learning about new things. And it's just opened an entirely new world to me.
Okay. So first I have to.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so
So
much.
that was like, and this kind of goes back to the college thing that we were talking about before, but that's like the biggest piece of advice that I would give to anybody. Asking for help and accepting help is a learned skill.
Absolutely.
Not everybody is good at it. Not everybody is expected to be good at it. But the people who become good at it are the people that succeed.
Absolutely.
Nobody has done anything 100% on their own. It's just not. It's just
in
not
my experience
real.
with tutoring, most people don't get it. Like they just don't ask for help.
And I don't
Like,
understand that because you're just
yeah.
detracting from yourself at that point. Like, why
Yeah.
are you stopping yourself from becoming a better person, a better caster, a better student? Like, you're just bringing yourself down. Like,
I mean,
I think
People
I realized that
absolutely want to help.
junior
And
year
they
of high
will.
school, I think was when I had my big, like, what the hell am I doing moment? Like, why am I doing this to myself? Because I was making myself miserable, number one. Number two, I was just so confused about so many things, like just in school in general, or like in band. I've been in marching band for forever. Played like 4 instruments. I love band. I'm in the Redcoats here at UGA, and I adore it so much. But like just in small things like that, I would not ask for help, and I realized I was not going to get anywhere in life, in content creation, in college, if I could not say, "Hey, I'm confused about this. Can you explain this to me? Hey, I need some help editing this essay." Like those very small things gave me that ability to do that in the future.
Yeah, I wish I learned it as soon as you did.
me too.
I didn't learn it until I started my first full-time job.
Yeah.
I mean, like I feel like too, as like just a general blanket statement for the most part, people want to help other people if it's in an area that
100%.
if they know what they're doing.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like for me the big, and like for AJ and I, the big like light bulb moment was when we started doing the podcast. Like we started the podcast after the World Championships in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And like we started, caught like a month after that, because like we met up in person for the first time and we started doing it. And then we had media and VIP passes by the Winter Major in San Diego.
Yeah.
It's like people want to help, you just have to ask. Like, we
Exactly.
started, we got like Subi on the podcast. We got Karma, and just a bunch of people who I never would have expected at the beginning to come and talk to us. And
Right.
like you just have to ask. Like people want to help.
I think going hand in hand with that, though, you have to be okay with rejection in that, which is something I am terrible at. I am world's biggest people person. I would talk to a brick wall. So, like, not getting that energy back sometimes is so scary.
Well, but you played sports growing up, did you not?
I did.
And you also are in marching band.
True.
So, from what you said, right? So I imagine like if you tried out for travel soccer, like travel sports teams, or if you were, auditioning for, first, second, third chair, depending on your instrument, whatever that may be, like, did that not help prepare you at all for that?
This is going to sound really bad. I did not allow myself to be mediocre at anything. I was very much a machine, very go, go, go. Like every day in high school, I woke up at 5:30, would go on a run, go to the gym, go like, I was always doing something to better myself and better what I was doing. So I didn't have many real experiences with failure until college, because I'm from a small town, and our bubble was kind of like the honors kid bubble where everyone had the 4.0, and I would practice my instrument every single day. I practiced color guard every single day. I made drum corps in 2 years. Like I am a very motivated person because I have so many things I want to achieve and want to do. So I didn't experience very many failures because I worked at pretty much everything. Like that's it. I don't know how to explain that without it sounding bad. You know what I mean?
I mean,
so
so
I
it
never
doesn't
really.
sound bad.
Well,
Okay,
so like
okay. I was like, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but
No, you're good.
everybody has a different road. We talked about this, and
yeah.
Yep.
well, maybe for you then, would it be like college admissions?
No, because it's gonna sound bad too.
Yeah, she's on
I
a full
got it.
ride.
I got in where I wanted to go, but due to some personal family stuff, I was not able to go. I got into Georgetown. That was my dream school. I wanted to go. Just due to family, I was not able to go. So I ended up going to Georgia, and it was the best decision ever. Granted, it wasn't really my decision, but it was the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I don't pay for my college, so my life's great.
Fair,
So I think
fair,
really,
fair.
it was really doing bad in college. Like, because when I had my full freedom, honestly, it was just great for me because I already pretty much ran my life anyway, but it was just I had more free time. But in that free time, I loosened up, I guess. I don't know. I had this realization at the end of my senior year that I was like, okay, this is what I wrote my college essay on, actually. The laundry list of achievements is not really what defines you as a person. It's like the person you are to your friends, to a random person on the street. Like, that's really what defines you. Like, nobody cares that you win this award and win this. Like, okay, great. Looks good on your resume. But people don't like you for that. And I realized kind of because I was so stressed about college admissions, like my junior year, I realized I'd kind of made that into my biggest goals and not necessarily pouring into the people around me, and getting to experience all my friends in their fullness, if that makes sense, like getting to know their stories and just deepening those friendships. And that's something that's become really important to me in the last few years, is just really getting to know the people I'm around, and being there fully for them as a friend. Because I think a lot of times, at least in the beginning of high school for me, I prioritized working on things rather than my friendships, because I was always so goal driven, job driven. Like that was, I mean, at 14, like that was what I was doing. Like streaming, I was like, okay, this is gonna be my job. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna work on this. Oh, I'm gonna get first chair. I'm gonna make top band. I'm gonna make drum corps. I'm gonna like it just continued on and on and on because it was never enough, if that makes sense. Like there's not fulfillment in achievement. There's fulfillment for a little bit, but there's not full wholehearted fulfillment in that. And that was a realization I had like mid junior year, that I was like, okay, you know what, like let yourself go, calm down, spend more time with the people you love. And for me, going into college, I did a little too much of that. So that's really where I experienced like my first
I think
big
everybody did.
failures, I guess. So yeah, that was a really long rant. Sorry.
No.
I'll be sorry.
I mean, that's like kind of the goal of getting to do interviews or conversations or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
is getting
Yeah.
to know a side of, getting to showcase a side of you that maybe not everybody gets to see, which is cool
Absolutely.
for us.
And I mean, I try to talk about this on my stream. Like I often, when a lot of people talk to me about college admission stuff, because that was something I always pushed really hard for, and I'm always really excited for my community about their college decisions. I got a lot of exciting DMs this week because a lot of decisions are coming out. I was so proud of them. But I think a lot of my recent, I guess, failures or no's. This is one in particular I'm thinking about. I have a blog that I started last year that I didn't keep up with super well, but I was so surprised at people's receptiveness to help. I had never talked to Dazarin before I DM'd him saying, "Hey, can I interview you?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, sure." He was my first one. I was terrified. Such a great conversation. 2 hours of just fun. Like we just had a blast. And I mean, I just kept reaching out from there. But actually, I DM'd Farah the other day. I DM'd him in English, and then I Google translated it to French and said, like, in case you'd prefer an interview to be over text, I can Google translate into French. And he never responded to me. So took an L
He's
there,
hard
guys.
hard to get the hold
just
of.
you should wait until after the major, because then they have a month off.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely bumping that DM in a little bit. Don't even worry.
Yeah, no, but like that's like the same thing with us. Like you just message people and
Yeah.
then like why did you say yes? Like why are you
Yeah,
talking
like,
to me?
what are you doing?
No, right? I was so shocked. Like,
Yeah.
why? Well, I don't like why. I
Like, what
wouldn't
are
have
you
said
getting
yes.
from this?
Like you're getting nothing out of this.
Yeah.
But I've gotten to
Yeah.
know so many cool people in the scene that genuinely just want to be better people. Like, I mean, Arsenal's one of my favorite conversations. I love Arsenal to death. We have the same birthday, actually. We found that
Oh, that's
out
fun.
the other day. And well, we were talking on stream on his stream, and he was like, "Nah, send me a picture of your ID right now, and I'll believe you." I sent him a photo of my driver's license, bro. I was like, "I'm not lying." Oh god. And even
That's
like
so
Nolly,
funny.
I learned so much about him from our interview. Because like just getting to see the real side of people like you guys do, I love that. I eat that up. I love people's stories. I love knowing what makes them them, and like the name behind the screen name. You know what I mean? Because I like to be Hana on the internet. I don't always like to be Nebbiiee, if that makes sense. Like to me, I act like the same person often on stream, but there's a distinction there in like the professionalism, and then in the okay, I'm a real person too. Like I am a 20-year-old who
Nice
goes to
catch.
school and dude, it's weird. It is so weird. I had a small like break about that like 2 days ago. I was like, dang, I'm being an adult now. Like
I'm old. Everything.
No,
I'm gonna
no.
die.
Oh my god, when one of the 15-year-olds in my comments, when I posted like 20, the comment was like, "Okay, grandma, my life was over." I was like, "I was you once. I was you when I joined the scene. Be quiet. Be quiet."
man.
Oh,
It,
God,
the
it was
the
so
worst
bad.
part is when you realize that when you go to the next in-person RLCS event, you're gonna be older than like 90% of the players.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And
I-
older than 100% of like the core.
JNaps is the oldest one.
It's
JNaps is the oldest one, and he's 23.
I'm gonna throw up.
He's the oldest one?
He's the oldest one, and he's 23.
No.
I
You're
might
lying
throw
to
up
me.
actually.
I
It's
think
oh my
Pulse
God.
Bop just posted it. I think there's like 5 people that are over 20 or over.
No.
I'm gonna throw up. That's it.
I hate
It's
it.
over
I
for
hate
me,
it here.
bro.
I hate it
What
I
here.
am
was the-
senile. Oh god.
Which major was it that like everybody was like born 2000 or later?
The last one.
Was it the last one?
Yeah.
That one was kind of depressing for me. It's like
I'm in
okay.
04. I can't
Ah.
say anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
You're
fair
welcome.
enough.
You're welcome.
93.
Hey, but I will say that I am significantly younger than majority of the content creators. Like when we were in Boston, they were all like going out to
True.
the bars, and I was like, "Bye, guys, have fun!" Like, oh my god, it was
That's
awful.
funny.
Oh, so sad. It's okay.
Yeah. It's
Fine.
it's wild. It's a wild time.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
they got those reaction times. It's that. I mean, that's what I'm chalking it up to.
Yeah.
That,
has
yeah,
nothing to
that's
do with anything else.
crazy. Gosh, I
Yeah.
feel 12 and 35 at the same time, like with no in between.
Oh yeah, I still feel 18, like I always have.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
This will last forever. It's great.
I mean, again, I can't speak for everybody, but that's how I've always felt.
But AJ, did you have any more questions before
Yes.
Okay, let's
Yes,
go
I
for it.
do.
Ooh,
Hang on a second. I might have forgotten one.
you're good.
so-
Don't worry.
How do you? Okay, so first of all, these are going to be about casting.
Okay,
I
yeah.
feel like I don't think or talk fast enough to be able to cast. Is there like?
Okay, so I will say
I'm
I've
just
been casting.
I was just putting it out there.
I've been casting for 3 months, but I don't think you need to talk fast. The correction I got was actually I talk
That's fair.
too fast.
Really?
I'm a
That's interesting.
yapper. If you haven't been able to tell from the last hour of our lives, I like to yap. And that was actually what I was told is I talk way too fast. So if you look at, Johnny Boy, his casts feel like a conversation,
He's my favorite caster.
right? And I mean that's why people
Yeah.
enjoy him because it is so
Yeah.
natural. He draws you
Uh-huh.
into the game. I think a good caster is somebody who could make my mom enjoy Rocket League, which is how I try to
Exactly.
cast. My mom, I took her to the season 7 LAN. I was on crutches in 15, I think maybe I was 16, I don't know. It was awful because crutches in that stadium were terrible, but I remember her loving it. Like she had so
Yeah,
much fun, and
that's
she
so
doesn't know
cool.
what Rocket League is. My mom actually started playing Rocket League a week ago, so W
Oh,
my
nice.
mom. Yeah, she and my
Hell
stepdad got an Xbox or a PS4. That's all they've been doing, actually, is playing
That's
Rocket
so cool.
League.
Love
Yeah,
that.
my
But
sister and brother-in-law went to what was it, San Diego,
Yes.
and they both had a great time with it. And they don't know anything about any video games, but they still had a blast. It was so cool.
because I think the
Uh,
biggest thing about casting is not explaining moment by moment what is happening because we all have eyes, like we're looking at it.
Right? Yeah.
So I don't
That would
really
make
think
sense.
talking speed is going to be something that holds you back. I think if you want to
Yeah,
do it,
that-
I'm gonna say go
for
for it
sure.
because I've been loving
That
it.
makes sense. I mean, that's not my only issue, but uh, yeah. So the God damn it, I think I forgot my next question again. I had it, and now I don't. So how do you like? So for your co-caster, how do you vibe with them? Like, how do you get to the point where you're super comfortable with casting with them?
A lot of times it's people I've known for. I say a lot of times. The 3 times I've casted, it's been people I've known for years on Twitter.
Oh,
So I
okay.
already have that level of familiarity with them. Like people I've casted with
Okay.
has been, Vaudable, Bepic, TJ. And I actually, I did have to cast with a new person for the first time, Exotic. Just a few minutes before the cast, I just met him. And something that I think really helped us is we just immediately launched into a conversation, just talking about, hey, how are you? Who are you? And just try to find the vibes there. And then it was immediately like, okay, do you want to focus on color? Do you want to focus on commentary? Like, what is it that you think you're better at? And we bounced off each other from there. And we also shared information like, okay, I have these notes on this teams. What do you know about these teams? Just in a really rapid fire way because we had about 7 or 8 minutes before we went on. A lot of times I reach out to my co-caster ahead of time and ask them to take a call so we can compare notes or we can just practice casting off a VOD or something just to understand the vibes, I guess, and how we cast, because casting with one person is completely different than casting with another. Like when I cast with TJ, we're both just kind of yelling. Like there's a there's a video of us doing Friday Night Lights with Bepic. Bepic records it, and it's both of us like jumping up and down, just talking really fast and getting really into it. And And then I cast with Bepic, and Bepic talks slower and elongates his words and knows more information. So it really just, I think it comes down to watching other people's casts. That's something I like to do to understand their style ahead of time. The more preparation you do for anything, the easier it's going to be. I think the worst thing you can do with casting is go in with zero preparation and just think you can do it blind.
Right.
Because, I mean, you can't. Like, you can do it. Will it be good? You know what I mean?
Another thing I learned is that's also not the way to take exams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Learned that one very quickly. Yeah, I can't remember my other question, so I'm
You're
good.
good. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'll think of it eventually and just DM you or something.
But towards the end of the episode, we like to roll out the red carpet, if you will. If you want to plug your social medias at any links, or tell everybody about things that you have going on, we'll post all of your links in the description of the episode, so people will be able to check you out that way. But what do you feel like plugging, and what do you have going on?
This is so exciting. I have a lot of casting things coming up, so stay tuned. But you can find me Nebbiiee on all socials, Nebbiiee. I have the same name everywhere, which is great. So it's hard to miss. I also have a blog that is relaunching soon, the Esports Tribune, where a lot of times I focus on things like this, where I go and I talk to a content creator, a community figure, and get to know the person behind the tag. Series is called Behind the Tag. Haha, clever. See,
That is a cool
awesome.
I actually really like that.
But it has been a lot of fun. So that's relaunching soon with some new interviews coming out. Arsenal one being posted briefly. But yeah.
That's
Sweet.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And then because we have to do it, and I'll put you on the spot on this one, and I'm sorry.
Ooh,
I'm
I'm
but
ready.
This is the Boost Over Ball podcast, so we need to know, when is the best time to go Boost Over Ball?
Ooh, as a platinum player, I do it every game.
Yes.
So all the time.
Yes.
Perfect.
You're
Love
so
it.
welcome. I'm just saying. I actually tell everyone in my chat that when they follow me and watch my streams, they rank up. And a few people have told me it's worked. Don't know how. I think actually watching my gameplay is a great example of what not to do, so it makes you better. So it's basically like free coaching sessions.
True.
So,
I mean,
Smart. You can start charging people for that.
dude, I should. Metafy coming soon.
Yeah.
That's actually my next big project, guys. Is my Metafy. $300 an hour private stream.
That's awesome.
That would be so good. I mean,
Cash App is Hana Leilani, if you're wondering.
Stacks had that's almost as good as Stacks' answer. He said all the time
Yeah.
you have to have 100 boosts to celebrate with the other team.
Oh my gosh, he's so right. God, I love Stacks.
I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
Yep. I do it way more than I should as well, and I'm, I know better.
Dang near constantly for me.
Yeah, I know better. I just choose to not be better.
Those corner
It's
boosts
more-
just look
it's
so
more
much
fun to
tastier.
not.
They do.
Yeah.
They do look so good. And like my teammate will start quick chatting me, but I can just be happy knowing I have 100 boost in that moment. So
It's more time efficient because, like, how many 12 pads can you pick up per second?
right,
Whereas
exactly.
you get 100 instantly when you get a big boost. So really,
So I feel
just
like it's what
makes
you need to
sense.
do.
Don't want you don't want to
Makes
lose
sense.
money on
Smarter.
the deal. Girl math, come on. But thank you so much for taking the time to
You
come
good?
talk to us. Did I die?
Girl math.
Oh, I'm back.
Oh, of course. Oh yeah, you
was
did
that my
die.
internet?
No,
Somebody.
it was me.
No, I think it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were done with that.
I thought I was too.
Keep doing the outro. Okay.
Okay, wait, do it
sorry.
again.
I was gonna say, but thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. This has been one of my favorite episodes. This has been awesome getting to
Aw.
know you. Thank you so much.
Did you say that to everyone?
Nope. You can go and listen to
Are you
him.
done recording?
No.
Let's go. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for
okay.
having me.
Quit
I had
recording.
such a good time. This was genuinely so much fun. I really enjoyed it.
We hope you enjoyed that interview with Hana. But with that, we will wrap up for today's episode. We'd like to thank you so much for listening. We'd like to remind you to please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, join our Discord, rate us wherever you listen to podcasts. Really give us those 5 stars. It really helps us grow our show, expand our audience, and get the show out to as many people as possible. We'd also remind you to check out our Twitch, our TikTok, and our merch store. All of these links and more can be found on our website at boostoverball.com. We'd also like to remind you about our in-person RLCS watch party in Madison Heights, Michigan at Selena's Bar and Grill. on March 30th from 11 a.m. until the matches conclude for that day. You can find all of that information on our website or on Twitter. It's our pinned tweet right now at the top of our profile. But from us here on the show, as always, remember to choose Boost over Ball.
Thank you for listening to the Boost Over Ball podcast. Make sure to check out our website, www.boostoverball.com, and rate us wherever you listen to podcasts.